Okay, my name is Lars-André Richter. I'm the head of the Friedrich-Naumann Foundation for Freedom Korea office here in Seoul. The Friedrich-Naumann Foundation for Freedom is a German non-profit organization. It was founded in 1958 in West Germany at that time, so roughly 10 years after the foundation of the Federal Republic of West Germany. That was still post-war area. And Germany at that time was in a need of political culture, so political education. That was done by many institutions, amongst others by the Friedrich-Naumann Foundation. Was founded by an then head of the state, Theodor Heuss, so quite high-ranking personality. First we had a focus on Germany, and some years later we started our international activities. So we went abroad, the foundation went abroad, first to Northern Africa, then to, I think, Indonesia was a very early country. And when it comes to Korea, here to Seoul, we came in 1987, which is 30 years ago. That was 2 years before the wall came down in Berlin. We started our activities here in South Korea, mainly on topics having to do with decentralization, local autonomy, local politics, economy, but still we are a German foundation, and that's why the expertise how to deal with national division and how to deal with how to overcome that, German unification then later on, that was a topic, still is a topic, have been a topic the whole time. And maybe another remark on what we are doing is we have activities in North Korea. We started them in 2004, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, on topics having to do again with economy. So that is trying to go there 3 times a year. It's a little bit tricky at the moment, but still it was fine so far. 3 weeks per year with seminars and conferences there on economic issues. That is a very unique story, I guess. So German unification, which means first the fall of the Berlin Wall, or better, the fall of the Iron Curtain in East Europe. That was not a German situation, German case, and only a German case. I was quite young at that time, 12 years maybe, so I was a child more or less. But anyway, it was a topic for me and my classmates, my school. And since I come from a divided family as well, so that was a topic for my parents and for my grandmother. She was born then in East Germany, and then my mother as well, and they went to West Germany then quite early. But anyway, so we had a lot of family in the former GDR, so that was for family reasons. That was a topic, and it was when it comes to the fall of the Berlin Wall, that was a quite sensitive moment. To be honest, I can't remember the weeks and months before. I mean, the fall of the Berlin Wall, that was one very important chapter of a longer history, of a longer story. But I mean, that was the highlight. I think I can very well remember this highlight in November, 9th of November, very late in the evening, when the wall came down. So that was the most crucial thing in this year, I guess, in 1989. German unification, that was only 1 year later, as you know, so it was a very intensive time. I followed that. I tried to follow that, but I was quite, as I said, quite young, maybe a little bit naive, not that experienced, but it was very intensive time. I watched the news, I read newspapers, discussed with my family, with my friends, on a very naive base. But anyway, I think my political education, or my interest for politics in general, for German history, for European history, that started in these months. So German unification, that was roughly a year later, 3rd of October 1990. I followed that as well, very emotional as well. I wish very from my heart that both Koreans will face this experience as well, and I hope very soon. I know that is a very complicated issue, But I hope that they will reach that in a peaceful way, as Europe reached that in a peaceful, and Germany reached that in a peaceful way. The how to overcome the division of the continent plus of the country. So I mean, when it comes to strategies or policies, how to overcome the differences between West and East Germany, then in the 90s especially, and I mean still an ongoing process. I mean the main part maybe is money. So there was one institution, the so-called Solidaritätszuschlag. So specific. Let's call it tax specific money, specific payment, which was and still is invested in East Germany, in infrastructure, education, other public sector. That was something, the biggest portion, I guess. I mean, talking a lot about the financial issue, the financial dimension, the costs of the unification here in Korea as well, and that was something in Germany too. The Solidaritätszuschlag. I think there is no English proper English translation. Beside that, we are talking much about the so-called innere Einheit, which means inner unity, mental unity. But I think that is different. I mean, on the one hand, I guess the younger generation, my generation, so 30 something, I would say even people in their early 40s, so people who are 20 and younger when the wall came down, I think they grew up more or less in the unified Germany. But people who spent their formative years, so in the GDR, respectively in the old West, so in the old Federal Republic, the Bonner Republic, in the Bonner Republic, so people who were, let's say, mid-20 and elder when the wall came down, I think for them there are still some differences when it comes to the mentality, due to the regime, or due to the context, the political context they grew up. They grew up in. So I guess for younger people, it's not a big difference between East and West anymore. Plus, I mean, there are big differences when it comes to mentality, when it comes to, I mean, even dialect, religion, maybe cultural issues. There are still some quite big differences between North and South Germany, for instance, or the Ruhr area and Bavaria, and I don't know, Central Germany, Frankfurt is different compared to Hamburg. So Germany is a very, very big country, a lot of cultural diversity. And that's why I wouldn't seek for inner unity. I mean, you can't reach that. I mean, there might be still some differences which had to do, or which have to do with GDR and former Bonn Republic. But I think that is more and more less and less important, I guess. So I mean, but maybe one last remark. Political education, so things we are doing, programs we are offering, that is something as well which was still very, very helpful. So how to train what is democracy, what is parliamentarism, what is rule of law, and so on, what is market economy. That is something which was offered in the, let's say, 10 years, within the 10 years after unification, and that might be something for here for South Korea, or for Korea, for unified Korea, for North Korea then especially, for unified Korea as well.